I'm on my way to the Palisades to meet a man who's a builder, a contractor, and a designer, and he's built and sold multiple properties in the Palisades, so a great resource to see what some of the residents are facing, what the rebuilding process looks like, and to look at things from the perspective of a buyer potentially buying a lot in the Palisades. What are some things to consider? Let's go meet Jason Pye. Is this your first time smuggling people?
This actually is my first, yes.
First time?
Yes. I did not smuggle, I did bring someone else through the Palisades, but I did not smuggle them through.
Okay.
You're my first smuggle.
I like it. What's going on with the checkpoint? Why did they have that?
Okay, the checkpoint is essentially there because, I don't know if you remember, but when the fires first happened, people were making their way back into the Palisades and just breaking into houses and stealing everyone's stuff.
So we were able to get in because of the little pass that you have over there.
I do have a little pass there.
That's crazy. People in like hazmat suits. Like
well, everyone's supposed to.
Feels like apocalyptic.
It does.
So this is cleanup. They're not necessarily constructing.
This is cleanup. No one, pretty much no one is doing construction yet. There are maybe like a few houses that have started construction, but I've seen very little.
You've had multiple calls with people from the Palisades, from residents.
So many.
Can you give us some insight into what those calls are like? For example, after talking with you, are they like, ooh, no, I actually can't rebuild? Or how many people are coming out of pocket maybe to rebuild?
A lot of people are getting the insurance policy's estimate back now and going, oh my God, my insurance company only wants to give me X. And I know I need Y.
To be able to rebuild. To cover the cost of the construction.
Almost guaranteed, most people's insurance will not cover fully the rebuild.
So you're familiar with this one, with this lot?
This is, I know this one well.
Okay.
I know this one well.
Do you want to tell us why?
Yeah, so this was one of the projects we had just wrapped up, just finished. We were about to stage it, go on the market with it, and the fires happened. So the fire started somewhere up in that hill somewhere. Okay, that's kind of where it started. And I got a call from a buddy of mine who was doing construction up in that area in the Highlands. And he said, hey, he sent me a picture of this little pinstripe of smoke. And it said, hey, I'm getting out of here. It looks like there's a fire starting. I called up my guys and said, hey, maybe it might be a good idea to go home. All of my guys are like, nah, it's fine. We're okay. We're okay. Bro. By 7:30, I get a text message. So someone, not this street. They're on Iliff, Iliff is a few streets down that way.
Yeah.
I get a text message with a picture shot straight down the barrel of the street with a fireball right in the center of the street. That morning, one of my project managers drove out here at like 5 in the morning to see it and was just taking pictures and videos of everything. And I'm going, oh my God, everything we just did, it's gone.
Gone. It's insane.
So,
it's like the extreme amplified version of like building up the dominoes only to see them like
absolutely fall.
After like years.
For
example,
I've been here like 12 years.
It burnt down before you were able to even put it on the market. How long did it take you? How long was this project to get to that point?
Buy the lot, start the architectural, and you're digging first shovel in the ground within 10 to 12 months. It's a long time. Plans usually take somewhere between 6 to 8 months. And then you have to do all the abandonments, you have to do all the asbestos testing, you have to do all these other things before you can even actually.
So we're talking almost 2 years of work to finally get to the finish line and.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do with this one? By the way, my name is Daniel RANGEL, real estate agent on the west side of Los Angeles. If I can be of any help, it would be an honor. And for a free consultation on buying or selling, you can find my information in the description below. And you can also find Jason's information in the description below. And if you like this video, don't forget to hit like or subscribe. Do you rebuild? Do you keep it?
So right now we have it on the market and I'm selling it as a finished product. Okay. So there is this opportunity that I kind of thought of saying, hey, I can't afford to just sell the lot. Right? I have too much money in the property to sell the lot.
Speaking of the lot, do you remember how much you paid for?
$2.7.
$2.7. If you were to put this lot on the market today, how much do you think
I don't know, maybe like 1.8.
Now, granted, when you bought this lot, you didn't have, there was really no opportunity to really buy an empty lot in the
Correct, yeah,
Alphabet
there's
Street.
no such thing
Like
as
you
empty lot
had
here.
to pay the little premium to
With the
buy-
structure on it.
With the structure. And then you're usually going after like this beat up structure to try to pay as minimal
Yeah.
for it.
And then we just tore it down and built a whole new beautiful home here. You want to just walk to Galloway? We can.
Oh, yeah, we can walk to Galloway.
You up for a walk?
Always.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't think you brought the right shoes for it
Yes,
though.
they fit.
Wouldn't it be crazy if we could just walk over the houses?
Which, unfortunately, you can.
I actually enjoy seeing and by the word enjoy, I mean I'm just optimistic about
Right.
is a lot of the lots are being cleared. Like people are moving forward.
I think it's going to look drastically different
It's
once
gonna
it
be a
is
completely
once
different
it is
landscape.
clear.
Because, by the way, ironically, you know, when I started here 12 years ago, it was a lot of little homes and it was, you know, pops of new construction.
Yeah.
I would say it was the reverse.
Well, it's interesting. I think even if we go back historically, the Palisades and many other neighborhoods in Los Angeles, they weren't built out massively by the developer who was the same builder. The developer came in, put the infrastructure, the sidewalks, and then they sold the empty lots,
Lands
which is
to
pretty much what
developers.
we're going back
Yeah.
to. And I think here in the Alphabet Streets, if I recall correctly, it was the Methodist community who started it, and they developed the infrastructure, but then they sold these lots, and sometimes the homeowners lived in these tents or shacks while they were building,
While they were building their houses?
the houses on
That's
their,
pretty crazy.
on their lots.
I love that you know stuff like that.
Thank you.
Like, I wish I knew more things like that.
Well, you know how to build stuff. I wish I knew how to do that.
You know, listen.
Oh, what is this?
This says that this is basically saying that the hazardous materials have been removed and completed.
So is this what cleaned up looks like?
This is a unique one because they left the foundation. If you look at the house right beyond it, they removed the foundation, but they left the driveway.
Okay.
So people got to choose if they were leaving their concrete or not. They clearly decided to keep it, but I'll show you. This is me nerding out on the construction stuff.
All right, there we go.
But you can see right here, like this is one of the reasons why I would not choose to keep the foundation, because look at how brittle all that was. Look at that. Look.
So is that aging, or is that because of the fires and the effect that it had on the concrete?
I think that it's because of the fires. Like, I mean, if you took a hammer and just slammed it right here, you would probably get a pop of concrete like a chunk of concrete that pops out.
So the other point that I want to highlight is looking at it from the perspective of a buyer looking to buy a lot here. So
Okay.
big question, does size matter when buying a lot?
Tyler said yes.
To clarify, when buying a lot,
Does lot size matter?
does lot size matter? How important is that
100%.
when it comes to pricing or valuing?
Look, I'd say in the Palisades and the Alphabet Streets specifically, the size of the lot does matter because it does dictate the size of your home.
Is there a rough rule of thumb percentage? Like if a lot is like 7,500 square feet, can I use a percentage to give me an idea of how much I can build?
So overall in Los Angeles, the rough percentage is 45.
45.
Okay.
So I'll take the
But-
lot size. 45% is
But
typically what it.
particularly in the Palisades, in the Alphabet Streets, I don't want to say in the Palisades, but in the Alphabet Streets for sure, the number is actually 65%. It's
Oh,
not
wow.
it's not an exact number
Right.
because it's not actually doesn't equate to 65%. It's not like that's the rule of thumb. It's 45% plus bonuses because Alphabet Street still does get bonuses for the builds that we do here, but overall. That's pretty much it. Like if
So
you
typically
do,
these lots you can build more than
I'll
in
show
some
you.
other neighborhoods.
Let's see. So a 5,200 lot times 65%. Oops, 65%, 3,400 square feet.
What's the easiest type of lot for a newbie to build a house? Like I imagine being on a slope is going to be a lot more complicated than.
A majority of the Alphabet Streets, the flats is
Yeah.
what we call them. You're fine. Like for example, if we look at this property right here,
Okay.
so a beginner lot is a flat lot. So
Okay.
that doesn't mean this is a great opportunity to see two different styles of lots. That doesn't mean flat. Okay.
Okay.
This lot right here that we're looking at, Tyler, go check them out. See it? Okay. From curb, so come back to me.
Or we can go over here.
From curb right here, from curb, you can pretty much see elevation. Like you can see it's not rising too much. It's pretty elevated. It's not coming up high. It's not coming down low. This is like the quintessential flat lot, right? But now follow me over here. So that would be a very easy build, but so would this one. Like just because we have elevation to it, that doesn't now mean that this is no longer a flat lot or not an easy lot. It's still pretty darn flat. Like it's just, okay, now we have an elevation to it, and now we've got to deal with that before we get to a flat lot. Not so horrible. Once you get up to the hillside, okay, now we're talking about, more complicated lots, right? But overall, when you're in the flats of an area, you're gonna have a pretty easy time doing something.
And then the hills, that's gonna be more complicated. Is that primarily due to foundation?
I would always stay away from hillside if you're doing a first build. You have to really want views, beachfront, waterfront sort of things if you really want to be in that zone. And those are for particular people, for particular buyers.
Yeah. So prior to the fires, the permitting process would have been
6 to 8 months.
6 to 8 months. After the fires, with the city expediting incentives or process,
they promised 30 days, but really it was more like 60 days.
Okay.
Yeah. This is it. This is 1022 Galloway.
Familiar with this one as well, right? Can you tell us
familiar
why?
with this one. This one was on the market. It was staged fully. This is my little sign that survived the fire.
Let's do a little bit of numbers here, if you don't mind. So you bought this lot for how much? Do you remember?
I bought this one for also like 2.7.
2.7?
Yeah.
How much would this lot be worth today?
I think probably 1.8.
And then you had it listed for
5.7.
5.7. Now you have it on the market again.
Correct.
Now.
Yeah.
For
in the fours. I don't remember what we put it at.
I think you're like at 4.9, just
4.9?
slightly below 5 million.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
If I'm a buyer and I buy this lot, where how many square feet existed?
This was 35, I think.
3,500 square feet. Is it easier to build, for me to build a house that's 3,500 square feet because the existing prior house was 3,500 square feet? Does that help me expedite the permitting process?
Yeah, that would help. If they knew that they would like the house that was here,
Yeah.
then 100% it's a good idea. But if they bought this house and they wanted to expedite the permitting process, they'd have to build something close to what was there or 10% bigger than that.
Yeah.
For it to be an expedited process. Otherwise, if they wanted to build the exact same floor plan here on there, it'll probably still take 6 to 8 months.
Okay, I'm gonna buy this lot for $2 million, and I'm doing my math. How much would it cost me to build a house here? Is there a rough rule of thumb that we can?
Right now, what I'm telling people is my assumption is I'm trying to still charge $550 a square foot.
Okay.
But I have a larger contingency because of unknown factors, right? So like, especially with taxes and tariffs and things of that nature, then all of a sudden also like just surge pricing that could happen. I can't really control a lot of the pricing. So even though I'd love to say, hey, I can charge you $550 a square foot, call it a day, let's build a house, it's not gonna work like that.
And the contingency is to like, hey, in case things change.
For example, if lumber ends up being double what I expect it to be, I have a contingency budget that I can pull that money from to allow me to use that. Now, some people like that concept and some people really don't.
But it seems like there's also the opposite polar end where contractors might just automatically be building the price up on this idea, hypothetical, of something that may or may not happen.
I don't like that idea. See, that's why I don't want to charge. That's why I don't want to come out and say I want to charge more. I'd rather charge what I've always been charging and just have a contingency in place than for me to be guessing what it's going to be.
Yeah, my disclaimer is that's not a quote. So each case is different. So reach out to him before making a decision or assumption.
Yeah, and make sure when you reach out, you don't tell me that Daniel was the one that sent you.
Yeah, absolutely. Do not mention my name because that 550 is going to go to like 1,000.
Exactly.
That was fun, man. This is our second video together, by the way.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, buddy.
It's always a pleasure.
Will there be a third time for Jason? Let us know. Do we like Jason? Do we not like Jason? Put it in the comments below. Anything you want to say, Tyler, back there? Sorry, we kept you in the dark. Do you like us? Do you like working with us, or?
Not the entire time.
Whether you like us or not?
I'll be back too.
All right, see you guys. And a big thank you to Jason for helping me put this content together. If you're looking to build, rebuild, or remodel, don't hesitate to reach out to him. And if you're looking to buy or sell on the west side of Los Angeles, don't hesitate to reach out to me. But either way, thanks a bunch for watching and have an awesome day.